Former President Donald Trump is now weighing in on the Arizona Supreme Court, allowing the enforcement of a near total abortion ban. The former president says it goes too far, adding that abortion is, quote, all about states' rights. He goes on to say it will be straightened out. Yesterday, Arizona Supreme Court ruled that a law which criminalizes most abortions can be enforced, essentially superseding a 15-week ban that's also on the books. For context here, this 1864 law, which is now back in effect, was created nearly half a century before Arizona became a state, before automobiles were even invented, and before Alfred Nobel patented dynamite. I think that puts this into context. Governor Katie Hobbs, who's a Democrat, is one of many politicians who's come out against the court's decision. On CBS Mornings, she appeared confident that voters in Arizona will approve a proposed constitutional amendment that would add the right to an abortion to the state's constitution.
Arizonans don't support extreme abortion bans, and this 15-week ban is still extreme. Again, no exception for rape or incest, no regard for complications of pregnancy. That's what will be in place. And again, Arizonans will have the ability to weigh in on this with a constitutional amendment in November.
We're now joined by Arizona's Attorney General Kris Mayes for further discussion on this. We appreciate you spending time with CBS News today. I just want to highlight for our viewers that you've said you will not prosecute doctors or women in violation of this law. That's a very firm stance, but help us understand it. How can you make that decision and ensure that no woman or doctor goes to jail in these next weeks or months?
Hi, Errol. Thanks for having me. Well, look, I have made that promise to the people of Arizona that we will never prosecute a doctor, a nurse, a pharmacist, a woman, anybody helping a woman seek an abortion in Arizona, despite this 1864 abortion ban. I will add another thing that didn't exist when this ban was passed, which is women couldn't even vote in Arizona at that time. So, you know, I will not enforce what is essentially an unconstitutional abortion ban. We also are still in the process now of looking at our options to potentially appeal this, either down to a superior court or up to the United States Supreme Court. So we're looking, everything is on the table right now to try to stop the implementation of this outrageous, egregious abortion ban that is an affront to the freedom of all Arizonans. And so, you know, that's why I have said we're not going to prosecute this. We have a lot of other important things we have to deal with in Arizona, and putting doctors and nurses in jail for abortion care is definitely not one of them.
Yeah, and because Arizona was not yet a state, this was actually a law enacted by the first territorial legislature, and this was happening during the Civil War. Just to give you as context of how old the law that stands now is. But you would agree that there is a real chilling effect that this type of ruling and this type of news coverage will give to women who are seeking this type of treatment and health care in the short term, even if this ruling has been stayed and there's a delay until it actually is enacted. What does this mean for people in Arizona right now who will or may need, for medical reasons, an abortion?
So true. And that's what's so, frankly, enraging about this decision, is that it will have a chilling effect on reproductive care in Arizona, on abortion care. That is why so many Democratic attorneys general have called me and offered to the state of Arizona their help. And we're working with our surrounding states to, you know, try to set up a system where we can get women to states like California or Nevada that have abortion rights. The Vice President of the United States called me yesterday to offer her support. So we know that until in the period between, you know, 45 to 60 days from now, and then that ballot initiative that our governor talked about in November, there will be a period potentially where women could completely lose their access to abortion care. And, I'm worried that women will die as a result of this. And, shame on Donald Trump, to be honest with you. Shame on Donald Trump and the United States Supreme Court for making this a possibility. Donald Trump appointed the justices on the Supreme Court that overturned Roe versus Wade in the Dobbs decision and made this possible in states like Arizona, that we could be taken back to 1864. And that's what the people of Arizona woke up to yesterday and are now grappling with today.
It's a major wake-up call for people in Arizona, a purple state, a state in which you yourself, I think, won your most recent election by a few hundred votes back in 2022. Republicans like Donald Trump, like Kari Lake, where you are, have voiced displeasure with this ruling. I'm wondering if, while in the short term, women could lose their lives and this has a chilling effect, if that then changes the political calculation in November as far as issues that will be on the ballot and independents who have a massive voice in Arizona and what they might change in the process.
Absolutely. And, you're right. I won my election by 280 votes, and I won because of the Dobbs decision and because so many independents and Republicans were outraged by the decision of the United States Supreme Court to deprive American women of the right to control their own bodies. And so, this was, I think, a political earthquake in Arizona. Everything changed when the Arizona Supreme Court decided to reimpose an 1864 ban on Arizona women. Absolutely everything changed. And I think that Republicans are sort of like the dog that caught the bus on this one. I think that they are going to rue the day that they decided to, advocate for this total abortion ban in my state.
And to provide a bit of context for viewers, every ballot measure on this issue since the overturning of Roe versus Wade, these ballot measures to reinstate women's rights on this front has been successful, even in red states. And Arizona would be a must-win for potential President Donald Trump again. Arizona Attorney General Kris Mayes, we appreciate you spending some time with CBS News today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.